are we at? Is this 81?
82. 82. Episode 82. It says it. There we go. I see. We're live.
We're live, pal.
82. There we go. All right.
We're live, pal.
We're here, so I guess that means it's on you to
Let's
be the
start that
DJ.
shit. Oh, shit.
Uh-oh. There you go.
Don't be scared. Don't be shocked.
Yes.
Episode 82, you motherfuckers. We out here. It's been a lovely morning.
Yes.
Powerful Anthony behind the switches.
Yeah.
Making things sound lovely.
Yes.
Next to me, Matt Levy.
Making things
The
hard.
reason I look so lovely. We out here. I don't even want to fuck around too much. I don't want to just do the monologue where I talk over the fucking theme for the whole verse.
No, not anymore.
Why?
Why not?
Why?
Because we got stuff to do.
They say why? I say why bother?
There you go.
What's that movie? Natural Born Killers. Squeaky Knox.
I have like 5 movies in my head. I don't.
You better get your shit together.
Hey, man.
Look, if you don't know Natural Born Killers, and you're out there right now, and you can see me, or you can hear my voice, fix your life. Fix your life. That movie defines the 1990s.
Disagree.
And now. And now. With Matt Levy at my side, we will start the episode. What the fuck do you mean you disagree?
Pulp Fiction.
Okay, no. I didn't say the best movie of the 90s.
Defines
It does not define the 1990s. It plays around in the goddamn 70s for the most part.
It does.
Like it does not define the 90s. I think it changed filmmaking for a lot of people. But I don't think it defined the 90s. I think Oliver Stone put a little capsule around what culture was, and at least the gross elements, and was like, here it is, choke on this, you cunts. Where I don't think Tarantino is defining a time period. It was almost like he was playing with these characters who did not belong in the time that they were in. Like the boxing character. That dude is not a 90s dude. There's nothing 90s about Bruce Willis.
Yeah.
In that movie. Motherfucking Vincent Jules. Where the fuck are they from? Like, have you ever met those niggas before? I haven't. I wasn't alive in the 70s.
I'll tell you where they
See
are
how I
not
outed them
from.
right there?
Yeah.
See how I out people like that?
I tell you where they're not from.
Where?
The Valley.
Oh, word?
Because Jules doesn't know any people in the Valley.
I don't have any homies around here, dog.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I love that movie. And especially, like, one thing I love about Tarantino movies is, like, he's such a cunt. Like, he finds a way to do things that you're not allowed to do. Like,
so a friend of mine...
He always makes sure that he can say nigger in his movies.
No. A friend of mine used to say this. He used to go around, he's like, Quentin Tarantino, making it cool for white guys to use the N-word again.
Like, he's like, well, I'm just going to do it. Like, I'll do it.
Do you see a sign?
Yeah. Is there a sign that says dead nigger storage in front of my house? You know why you didn't see that sign, Jules?
Why?
Because it
it's
isn't
not.
there. Because storing dead niggers isn't my fucking business, man. Now, here's the thing that I feel like too many people miss. Is it just me? Or when they do those little montages of, like, Bonnie, you don't see her face. Isn't he married to a black chick? I think Bonnie's black.
Oh, yeah, she is.
Bonnie's black.
No, she is. You see her.
You don't
You
see
see
her.
her from behind.
You see,
But you see she's black.
She's black.
She is.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like people miss that, and it's like there's a lot of people that walk in the worlds between the races, and most of those people occasionally or often use racial slurs.
Yeah.
They don't have malice in their hearts when they say them, and like I don't suggest that other people do this, but I do this. I say racial slurs all the time. I realize that there's a lot I can get away with socially because I'm black. And so if I do it publicly, like if I call you a kike, no one's going to flip out. If you dropped the N-bomb on the podcast, I don't think that would be wise for you. If we were by ourselves, it would be fine.
Yes.
Isn't that fucked up? Like, I think that's fucked up. If you are aware of the context, this is where it pisses me off.
I agree with
When
context.
you are aware of the
Context is
context
everything.
and you're still like, but he shouldn't have done it, and then you judge them for it, it's like, no, you're a fucking asshole. He should have done it.
Here's the
'Cause it's
point
funny.
we're at. Here's the point we're at where we've
But
lost context.
I strongly suggest that people don't do it. Does that make sense?
This is the point where we're at, where people have lost context. You will get in trouble as a reporter if you quote somebody saying a racial slur as part of a news story. You can't even report it.
No.
And it's like, what happened to context? All you're doing is saying, this person said this horrible thing.
But they can't wait to say Pussy Riot and grab him by the pussy. They love saying dirty things.
Oh,
they
yeah.
can get away with it.
Yeah.
Every newscast is Pussy Riot. Well, what's Pussy Riot? I don't know. It's in the news. I get to say it. It's like half of why Trump got all that fucking heat for that grab her by the pussy joke that he told is because it's fun for reporters to say pussy on TV. Same thing with shithole. They were super psyched. They're like, oh, he said shithole? So I get to say, put me on air. Like, I am ready to rat this dude out right now. Like, as many times as we can say it.
See, this is where I like where South Park went way back when they did their shit episode.
That was awesome.
They decided to have the running count, and
Are
we're
you
going
aware
to
of
show
this?
you how many
No.
times we said shit.
I think it was 152.
I don't remember.
Can you look that up, Anthony?
Sure.
There was a counter in the corner of
Yes.
the fucking frame.
And Mr. Garrison walking around, shitty, bang, bang, shitty.
yeah,
he
they
did that.
realized that they could swear. It wasn't that you can't swear on TV.
Especially because it was cable, so it wasn't
Right.
regulated by the FCC.
It's mostly about advertisers.
Right.
And so they had to figure out, like, what is the word that advertisers won't... It's hard not to do this. Give a shit about. And they... Shit. And so they put it in as many times as possible. And I'm almost certain. It's like the jelly bean game right now because I don't have it actually memorized.
Right, but it was...
I think it was 152 times. How many times?
162.
62.
Oh, that was good.
Oh, it was a good guess.
It was good, but you got...
It was a good
you
guess.
got the 2.
So yeah, so they got away with that, which was fucking brilliant and edgy. It's like those dudes know what edgy is. It's like, what's the line? What's the line? Now let's make sure we step across it. Then let's make sure we acknowledge that we knew it was a line. And tell you why you're a cunt for not stepping over that line. Or for stepping over it too carelessly. Like, I feel like there's like a strong sense of right and wrong that you can rely upon. It's not just dick and fart jokes.
I think they got away with saying the N-word.
I'm sure they have.
No, because I think I remember the episode. So it was the one where all the wealthy blacks from LA decided to move out to... and they decided to do the ghosts, but the ghosts were KKK uniforms?
The first time they did it was the fucking Wheel of Fortune episode. Where he
Oh,
was
Nagger.
Right.
like
Nagger.
people who annoy you.
Yeah.
which it totally worked on me. And here's the best part. Everyone that looked at it must have ran through the vowels. And so you said A-E-I-O-U in your head. A-E. So the first thing you said was A, and then you just dismissed it. Like, no, negger? Well, negger isn't really a word, but I guess you do neg someone. So usage might make negger a word. Nogger? Is that a person who drinks a lot of eggnog? Like, that's not really it's gotta be nigger.
Actually, find out which one of those came first. Was it the lowercase t, the one where, or it was
the lowercase
or it
T
was
on
the
my front
nagger?
lawn.
Yeah.
They put a lowercase
For time to go home.
it meant time to go.
They're really scared of ghosts, and they're just all in the KKK uniforms.
that shit's
And
brilliant.
I love the fact that they don't mention the fact they're black once until the very end when Mr. Garrison is like all of a sudden, yeah, but at least we got rid of all. And I'm pretty sure that he drops the N, but like full on with the R there.
I hope so.
Let's see. Oh, a check plus for representing.
I just think that there's comedy that is like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
That feels just indulgent and masturbatory, and I don't need you to jerk off on my face. Like I don't need that. Like, I want you to point at me and be like, here's why you're an asshole. Can you see it? Do you see that asshole inside of you? Like, I like that kind of comedy. And I think they hit that fucking spot on. And I've never been disappointed by an episode, honestly.
Yeah, those guys are brilliant.
So while Anthony's looking up facts, let's tell these motherfuckers about you. So I don't even know what to call you sometimes. Like, because it's not just strength stuff that we do.
Oh no.
But like the short story, when I don't really care about the person I'm talking to, when they're like, "Oh, what have you been doing?" I'm like, "Oh, I have a strength coach now." I just leave it like that. But let's tell people about what you do.
Well, if you wanted to add a little bit to that, it could be strength and conditioning.
Yeah, but I don't want to talk to that person.
You don't want to talk to that
so
person.
I say it as quick as I can.
I try to make people just better athletes as a whole. And whether that person is an actual athlete or, a woman in her 40s with 2 kids just wanting to get in shape, you train like an athlete and your body's going to develop like an athlete. It's the whole idea is, form follows function. So if you demand a function of your body, the form of your body will start to take shape to make it look like the function you're demanding of it. So yeah, strength is a part of what we do. You could sort of break it down into 3 broad elements. One you could call the gymnastic strength element, which is really predominantly being able to use your body in various angles in space for strength purposes. It can be anything from static or dynamic, where you're holding a position that's pretty hard, or it could be in a push-up. We can take a basic push-up and make that push-up brutally difficult just by putting you at a disadvantageous angle. But it's strength work, using predominantly your body weight. And then what most people associate with strength work, which is when you have a barbell or dumbbell or some external load in your hands or on your back. That's an element of it. And then a third element is conditioning. And that's the ability to use that strength, that power, that's all of that, the speed that you built from the strength work you've done, to be able to do it continuously over and over again for some period of time, be able to continue to access it. It's great to have a great 1 rep max, but if you've got 8 seconds of all out effort and then you're done, it doesn't do you very, very good in most athletic endeavors outside of Olympic lifting and powerlifting.
Right.
So one of the traps I think a lot of people, and I fell into this trap, trust me, I've made every mistake that you could possibly make, is I came from a powerlifting background, and then Olympic lifting is what I got into. So I started to think the answer for everybody was Olympic lifting and powerlifting. Mm-hmm. And I kind of went down this tunnel where this is the answer, but no, it's a part of the answer, but it doesn't give you everything you need outside of those sports. Those sports are very specific. They involve how much weight can you lift, in either 3 lifts or 2 lifts, depending on which sport we're talking about. But those aren't the end of, it's part of the answer. It's not the entire answer. You need some of that, but you need more than that. Mm-hmm. And what I've developed and the programs I've started to develop, have really started to find the other answers and really explore them and understand them and how they all fit together. So I'm a big believer in copying what works. I have a long list of people I've stolen shit from, and it is a long list.
Every teacher does.
I have a huge list. Everything I have
Don't be
is stolen.
marks, guys. Whoever you think is like the best teacher, he's teaching you other people's shit.
Absolutely.
He synthesized it. It's now his. And you'll do the same someday. Hopefully. If you're a sharer of information. Like, no one pulls it out of their ass. You may modify, you may riff, but like you're drawing from some kind of inspiration.
Oh, yeah. You heard it from I'm sure a lot of people who listen to your podcast probably listened to the Faraz Zahabi when he was on Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
Okay.
I bet
So
there's an overlap.
Every single name he lists when he's talking about, I got this from this person and this from this person. I tell you, people who know what they're doing in the strength and conditioning, we all have read that material. I'm not unique. It's not like I found these hidden jewels that.
No, you got to make history.
It's like everybody who is of a beyond a certain threshold level, they've all read Sif and Verkhoshansky. They've all read Zatsiorsky. They've all read Bompa. They've all these are sort of everybody goes. So now you take different stuff out of it. You experiment with it. You make it your own. Mm-hmm. But we all kind of have that same base.
And I don't have to read any of that, Anthony.
Yeah.
Yes.
He already did.
Gotcha.
Which is why, listen, I'm a white belt in Jiu Jitsu. I come to somebody who has gone through, who's learned from all these sources and has synthesized it. This is
And
what
failed.
works. And failed. And that's a big part of it. People hate to admit to failure.
Because they're pussies.
Failure is how you learn. Over and I have failed way more times than I have been successful.
Of course.
Way more times. Even the programs I write today, I keep experimenting with new things.
Yeah.
It may not be major shifts, but I'll try. You've been with me long enough. You've seen things change. No 12 weeks that you train with me is the exact same as the 12 weeks you went before. Sometimes what I put in, it doesn't work as well. I'm like, okay, well, it didn't really work out. Let me think about this some more. What can I do? Why didn't it work? Was it too much volume? Was it not enough volume? Was it, there are any number of reasons why it could have gone wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And, sometimes I have to adjust. And so I'm always trying. I'm getting closer to the truth. And there are probably multiple truths, so I'm getting closer to a truth.
Yeah.
But I'm always trying to move in that direction. And we've all seen the internet meme where it says, this is what people think success looked like. This is what success actually looks like. Yeah, it's true. Hopefully the more skill you get, it's less this and more it wiggles.
Right.
Instead of being
I'm trying to get to that wiggle stage.
Yeah, instead of being at a 9.8 on your seismograph during the earthquake, it's a little earthquake.
Yes.
That's what it looks like.
Little earthquakes. Isn't that a Tori Amos record? Little earthquakes. Look that up right now.
It should be.
I'm 90% sure it is. And I think maybe that's what it even means. It's like a static, like a controlled chaos.
Yes.
Like chaos within a range.
It is Tori
Failure
Amos.
within a range. Instead of yay. Aw. Nobody wants to live like that. So this is the third time I've been through the cycle, but the second time I will have gone through an entire 12 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And when I first started training with you, it was so hard for me to decide to go because it's so difficult. I remember the first time I did the warm up,
mm-hmm.
and it was the full warm up. It was every single exercise that is in the warm up now, plus the ones that aren't in the warm up now. And I thought to myself, if you told me that was today's workout, I would have believed you.
Okay.
Especially with the QL walks. So you sit on your butt with your legs out in front of you, straight or straightish, and you crawl on your butt forward and you move your butt until you're backwards. So you're moving on your hips. You're using your hip flexors.
It's a butt walk.
Right? You're walking on your butt. And he's like, so here's this 16-kilo kettlebell. You're going to hold it too close to your chest. And you're going to go back and forth. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I'm going to do what? You want me to what? That's 30-odd pounds, man. That's 34, 36 pounds?
35.
35 pounds. Fuck me. And so I pick it up, and I start doing it. And I think I got a third of the way, and I put it down for a second. And eventually I finish. And there's a man in his early 50s just fucking zip. And I'm like, that's interesting. Okay, so this is entirely possible. And so you pick it up and you keep doing it. And after that, I was fucking tired. And then we do the workout, and I was like, okay, this is fucking serious. And I was fucking scared. I was nervous. And my body was reacting so poorly because I was smoking cigarettes so much and I wasn't training at all. Even jiu-jitsu. I was learning jiu-jitsu. My mind was getting better at jiu-jitsu. But I hadn't rolled hard in over a year for sure. That's real talk. So I start feeling sore in the chest. My throat hurts. And I'm coughing a lot. And I'm like, I think I'm getting sick. So in the mornings, I felt like I was sick. And so I told myself, I'm sick. I don't want to go in when I'm sick. I wasn't sick. My body was getting rid of that shit that I hadn't noticed because I hadn't kicked the tires in over a year. It's funny what depression does. And so eventually I realized that it was just my lungs getting pure. Whatever pure is. Like I'm smoking a joint right now, so fuck off. We all have different definitions of what good is. And good enough is mine of good. So
it's actually something I often say to clients of all types. I mean, everyone from a professional athlete to, you know, the overweight mother of two, you know, in her late 40s, which is don't let the perfect be the enemy of the good.
Right.
Again, something else I've stolen, just like the QL walk, just like the idea that the warm-up is, you know, the workout is the warm-up.
Yeah.
Those are all concepts I stole from other people. But, you know, find what works, use it, you know, the whole Bruce Lee, whatever, find what's useful and, you know, discard which isn't.
Yeah. And so I just started making the decision to go. But what helped me make the decision was it was timed perfectly with my fight to win fight. And so as it drew nearer, I stopped missing days because I got scared of losing. And so I was like, this will be the motivation. And I fucking worked hard then. It was like honestly, it was probably just 2 weeks.
No, it was...
it was more?
It was 4 weeks. You did the entire conditioning phase. The entire 4-week conditioning phase. Plus,
so I joined you during the barbell phase.
Yeah, you started during the barbell phase.
And I was fagging out all the time.
You were like, yeah, I'm gonna
sleep in. I'm gonna not go. Oh, I'm sick.
Yeah, not today.
And honestly, I thought I was sick for some of that.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Then I realized that it was my lungs, and that I could take like hot showers, and there are things I could do to like ease this part of the process. And so when I realized that, oh, you're just fucking cunt. You're getting healthy. You're not getting sick. And then the fight got closer and closer. Then I got more consistent.
So you did the full 4-week conditioning phase, which included also a tapering week, which most people don't do under my program. But because the fight was perfectly timed for that 13th week, which is normally an off week for most people, we did the taper to keep everything you had built, but make sure you were, you know, Monday was the hardest day, Tuesday was less, Wednesday was less, and Thursday was just move and get a little sweating so you could make weight.
Which was super hard, which is hilarious. So he's like, oh yeah, we'll just do a little light biking.
Yeah.
And I'm like, straight. So I get to the gym and he's sitting by the Aerodyne. And I'm like, what's up, dog? He's like, all right, hop on. I ride the Aerodyne for 5 minutes. I want to get off.
Yeah.
I want to get off after 5 fucking minutes, Anthony.
Yeah.
Like for real. Like in a real way.
Yeah.
Not like, oh, I kind of doubted myself. Like I was like, I'm done with this.
Yeah.
But you weren't showing off the shoulders that day. You were fully...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we were... I mean,
I was wrapped up tight, dog.
Put it in context. You were... Yeah.
But it wasn't just the fucking... It wasn't the plastics, man. It was my fucking... It was all of it. It was all of it. It was like, get off this bike. But I can't disappoint him. And Sean's there too. He can see me. All these people can fucking see me. Accountability.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck. It was miserable. What was it, like 30 minutes or 45? What'd you do to me? It was way longer than I wanted to be there.
Right.
Yeah. I think it was actually 20. But it
no,
was,
it was worse than that. It was worse than that.
Yeah,
it was at least 30.
It might have been 30.
It was at least 30.
It's probably
I swear
30.
to God.
How much weight did you have to lose?
Only like 3 pounds.
Okay, yeah, then it was 30.
But, yeah, so I was fucking miserable. But then, I got through that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I won the fucking fight. And then, there's another 12-week cycle starting up. And, like, I remember we did a shot of fucking whiskey on Instagram because I'm a fucking mark for myself.
Saw that.
Let's keep it real. And I'm like, you know what? I'll see you on Monday. Like, I don't want this to be a thing I did for the fight. I want this to be a thing I'm doing for my life, for my students. Like, I want to take my body back. I want to take my fucking city back. And that starts with, like, doing right action. And right action is you need to learn the importance of discipline and hard work. Because you've never learned it. Because you're a fucking child. Darren. Fuck Darren. Darren needs to wake the fuck up every morning and do something he doesn't want to do. And I have a person who's excellent at what they do, who's offering me their services in exchange for my favorite fucking thing to talk about. you have to do this. And so I'm like, okay, cool. And then there was another fight to win coming up. And so I had this bonus motivation. But I didn't end up on that card, so it didn't work out. And then I had an opportunity to fucking quit again. And my toe got fucked up. Things happen. You get knee dropped by friendly people. It's all good. And so I missed like 4 days in a row because of the toe.
Yeah.
And then I broke rhythm again for some other pussy ass reason, I think. And so I missed like 10 days out of the 60? Something like that? Maybe 8. At least 8, I think 10. But then there's the bright side of that, which is you did the right thing 80 fucking times, really. Like, you did the right thing like 80% of the time.
Which is the exact percentage. Like, listen, I'm probably the only trainer stupid enough to do this, but for, fitness clients, I tell them, you sign up for the 12 weeks, 60 training sessions in 12 weeks, 5 days a week. You show up to 80% of those classes. So it's the 80% you just talked about. If you're not satisfied with your results at the end of those 12 weeks, I'll give you your money back. So 80% is exactly, that's again, don't let the perfect be the enemy of the good.
Yeah.
You didn't have control over somebody dropping their knee on your toe.
True.
Well, maybe if you'd been faster in the sprawl, but
no,
but but you didn't have control. That's not something that you were like, hey, I wanted this to happen. And I was the one telling you also, hey, stay home. Yeah. Your job isn't to lift. Your job involves jiu-jitsu and competing. And if at any point there is a conflict between the two, I will always adjust what I'm doing to what the main goal is here. I don't lose sight of what's more important. And what's most important isn't what you do in the gym with me. It supplements what is most important. And you've probably seen this, on a number of...
I know what you mean.
I will adjust on the fly based on what I'm seeing.
Yes.
It's a template that I write down, but it is not written in stone.
So you are right. You are right to think that way. You are right. But right now, the work I do with you is probably the most important thing I'm doing. Because it's not for the muscles, it's for my brain.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if there was a jiu-jitsu match tomorrow, and I just trained without knowing you,
mm-hmm.
I would be much, much worse off. Physically, for sure. But emotionally and mentally, most importantly. I really think that. I think the reason that I was able to decide to start to raise some of my standards in my life is because in the morning I wake up and pick up heavy things under your supervision. If I didn't do that, emails would not get answered. Phone calls would not get returned. And I would fucking fail again. I would lose everything again. This time, under the name of the thing that I made up instead of somebody else's name.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck. We can't have that. And how do we make sure we don't have that? Fuck Darren. That's how we do. We wake up and we say, oh, word, you would love to stay in, wouldn't you? Oh, yeah? Stay home and jerk off again? Is that a good idea? Is that what we're going to do? No. Fuck Darren. Get after it.
So this is something I've often said, going way back to, 40-year-old, housewives in Los Angeles.
And 40-year-old ladies are out here doing fucking pull-ups.
Yeah. And I
While you motherfuckers are talking about it.
I got it. Doing 6 dead hang pull-ups. 44-year-old mother of 2. Dropped 3 dress sizes. But, and she's doing the same work you're doing. Exact same thing. Didn't start that way. Maybe not when it says pull-ups. She didn't start with pull-ups. She started with doing something that was within her capabilities. I find everybody's level. That's the goal.
She's out here doing pull-ups.
Yeah. 6 dead hang all the way up here.
Like, think about what a pussy you are. Like, honestly. Like, all of us.
But it's the
Even
idea.
if you're a bad motherfucker, there's this piece of you that's a pussy. Think about that part of you. Just think of that. And, like, you could just kill a piece of that. One pull-up at a time. There's a 40-year-old lady out here waking up every morning, way before I want to wake up. Above that bar, bitch. Above that bar. Get us together.
There was a client I had in Los Angeles. She's like the assistant to Charlize Theron. You know, this is an accomplished woman. She's a mover and a shaker. She is, she's out there hustling in L.A. and in, you know, the dog-eat-dog world of entertainment. And she said, if I had this email I would read it and I would probably just start crying because it just made me feel like, oh my God, I felt like I did so much for this person. But I've often said I don't like to make what I do in the gym more than it is, pretend it's some mystical whatever, but I don't want to make it less than it is either. And I think what it really is first of all, there's going to come a time in the gym where there is some fear. There's going to be a bar that you get under and you are supposed to do a 1 rep on a squat and you're not sure you're going to get that weight. You may get buried and have to throw it off your back. It happens at some point. Not right away. We build up to that. It takes time before you get to that level. But do the conditioning. There's conditioning that there's conditioning I stole from somebody else, but I loved it and I brought it into my own program, the 13 Down. And I was like,
call it see God's face.
But the thing is, when you are regularly facing your fears, when you're regularly saying, God, I don't want to do this today. I just don't even want to show up today, but you do it anyway. These things make you stronger and you can apply them. The gym is really an easy place at the end of the day. It doesn't have all of the variables that life has. Life is way more complex, and there's a lot more to fear in life than there is in this 1 hour a day, 5 days a week. And the variables that we have are just the weight, the time that you're doing it, the movement pattern. Those are all the variables. Can you do it? Can you not do it? Can you push through this? Are you strong enough to do that? Life is way more, just interpersonal relationships. But it's that idea that when you're teaching Jiu Jitsu, you're not going to teach me the flying triangle right off the bat. You're going to work with the basics.
Would that be wrong?
You're working with, you isolate things. You get good at that. You overcome your fear, just showing up and rolling. As for me, as a white belt, I'm like, oh my God, I got this purple belt who's going to try to rip my arm off, take it home with him as a prize. That's fear. I have that fear. And when you start to overcome it and you realize I can do this. Okay. I had to tap. It wasn't that bad. Okay. Learn from it. Get up, do it again. Get up, do it again. Same thing. You start to be able to apply it from this isolated area with not that many variables in the grand scheme of things. And then you start to broaden that circle out. It's like, let me apply it to this area of my life. And she had said to me that this had changed her life because she started to apply it in her job, in her relationship, in, with the food she ate. And she wrote this email that to this day, my heart it seizes when I think about it, because it makes me feel so good that I helped this already very accomplished woman feel so much more confident in tackling things that she was afraid of that had nothing to do with the gym, had nothing to do with a back squat or an intense conditioning circuit, but she could apply those to other aspects of her life. And so like I said, I'm not one of these people who, like the quintessential sensei who will now give you advice on every other part of your life, even though all they really know how to do is, choke you unconscious or whatever. Again, so I don't want to make it, I'm not going to give you financial advice because I can tell you how to lift more weight or, go longer in conditioning, but there's still something to apply from that can help you in your financial life or whatever other aspect. I think it's not more than it is, but not less than it is either.
No, I think you're right to make sure that you don't overvalue it. I think it's right to protect yourself against overvaluing and saying that oh, it's really this, and like overstating it, right? But just like any difficult task, you are providing the ability to have a mystical transformative experience. Like that's also happening. that doesn't mean that that is what you are providing. You're providing the space for it to occur. That's true. And I don't think that's overstating it in any way. And that's what happens for me. Literally every fucking time. like every fucking time. It's why I haven't eaten my mushrooms. I know it sounds so fucking crazy to regular people, but I haven't needed to go deep into the psychedelic experience recently, even though I've been holding on to these mushrooms forever. It's because I started working out with you, and I have a mini psychedelic experience Monday through Friday every goddamn morning. So the last one, like, this sounds so crazy. The last time I really think that the lift was psychedelic was when we did front squats, and my elbows dropped too far, and I lost the weight on, like, so we're doing reps of, like, 2 sets of 5, and these are with the same weight.
Right.
And then you do as many reps as possible, and if you get to 20, you stop. That's the idea.
Which I stole as well.
Right? So I'm doing the squats. I get to 13, and I want to quit mentally. I check out. Like, I'm like, fuck. But I know that he knows what the fuck he's doing. Because he's predicted what I'm going to do correctly. I'm like, he knows how strong I am. He knows I can do all 20. And I know I can do all 20. Because I know how much is in my leg still. I could probably do 25 if I really tried. If I really, really tried. I might fail.
Right.
But I probably could do it. So, like, I know that. But at 13, it starts to suck dicks. And I'm like, those other reps were kind of fun. It's kind of fun to be able to be strong. But as soon as it starts to hurt, it becomes more difficult. Now we start to look inside. Now we start to see that face. Now we start to see, oh, you're disgusting inside. You're the reason you're not successful yet. This unwillingness to push through difficulty. You fucking asshole. You show off cunt. You'll do 1 rep because someone can see you do it. But when it starts to suck, you want out. You fucking pussy. 14, 15. I get to 18 and a technical mistake. I drop my elbows and the weight starts to roll away. And part of me goes, that's a viable out. You could just say, it fell down, and no one's going to really criticize you. I throw it the fuck up, and I'm like, 19, 20, and I chase it up to the rack. And that moment is psychedelic. I had to fucking confront myself. I had to go into the fucking cave with the sword and look at that fucking evil cunt and stab him. And then, here's what sucks. You don't get any prize.
Nope.
No gold. No accolades. You get a quick attaboy, but it's to be expected. You did what you were supposed to do. It was just hard. And that's the lesson I need to learn as a human.
That's what I often refer to. What you're discussing is and again, on the theme of stolen from others, that sort of, I've heard it referred to as that blue collar attitude when it comes to training, which is, this is just part of your job. You show up, you do it. There are going to be days, I don't know what percentage, maybe 10% of the time you feel like you can destroy the world. You are just that powerful.
Yeah,
this
10%
is
of the time I'm God.
This is a great there is 10% of the time, maybe more, where it takes every ounce of willpower just to get into the gym.
30% of the time, I don't want to leave my room.
All right.
I wake up and wish I hadn't about 30% of the time.
Well, let's put it this way.
Oversharing.
Once you get there, you still feel that way. Even after the warm-up,
yes.
You're still like, I still want to leave. 80% of the time
I'll go 10% for that.
Okay. So 80%, the large middle, somewhere in between. It's just a regular day.
Yeah.
It's just a Tuesday, and, you've got to finish doing your work for the day. You're not killing it. You're not getting crushed by it. It's just part of your job that day. And I think developing that ability to see it, you start to miss it. You realize it's that tooth that's missing that your tongue keeps reaching for. You know, when it's not there, it's I feel like something. And I can really talk to this now because I have spent the last 11 weeks, 10 of the last 11 weeks, suffering from an injury, one or more injuries, which has completely my ability to train Jiu Jitsu or to train with the weights, and it has driven me nuts. I have been going. Yeah.
If you're a listener and you're not a Jiu Jitsu practitioner, you don't know how much you need your motherfucking ribcage. There's a good chance that you've gone through your whole life without anybody either compressing you or putting enough weight to pop it, or a knee sometimes can break a rib. Like, combat athletes and athletes who tackle each other know this suffering. Regular people, chances are, unless you were in a car accident, your ribs have never been injured. You can't breathe. You can't laugh.
Sneeze, burp, cough, twist, sleep. I couldn't find my rib right after the injury. I'm like, my rib is missing. Yeah. It's the worst. What happened?
It's the worst thing ever.
And pops then back.
The reason why it's the worst thing ever is because eventually you'll almost think you're fine. And you'll be like, oh, I think my ribs are good. And then you'll try to train. And then you realize how not fine you really are. You're not fine at all. You're not going to be okay for like 3 months. And like, I almost have a rib injury right now. I'm like right on the verge of it. It's like something is not happy. But like, it's not injured at all. Like, I play without any pain, I swear to God. Like, I'm not like, and I've been secretly injured this whole time, coach. Like, no, like, but like, there was a time where I was turning. Somebody had me in the turtle. Mm-hmm. They had like I let them get a body lock because I kind of wanted to see if they tried to suplex me, and I was gonna try to do a Granby out of it. I've never done a Granby in that inversion moment where every other cool wrestler does it. I've never done it then.
Right.
So that was my plan, and so I kind of turned to see if like I was gonna look at it. I was just having fun, and I felt my rib go, and I was like, "Ooh, let's not move there." So I caught it before it did anything naughty, but it was like I just stretched it. Like, it wasn't like, pop, like, oh no, 8 weeks of my life. Oh, God. Like, it's horrible. So, yeah, you understand. You've seen it. You've seen the darkness.
It was 8 weeks ago today that the rib injury happened.
The darkness.
I'm just, I'm like, I'm still like with everybody. I'm like, no knee on the belly, no planting on.
Use the firearms.
Yeah.
This isn't a real firearm. I just noticed it was next to me again.
Don't frame on the ribs,
right.
please.
Oh,
please.
God. Please don't.
Please don't. I'll just tap if you frame. But, yeah. But it's my wife, she's jiu-jitsu is literally the last thing she would ever do. You know, and she's like, oh, boy.
Sweat all over you and shit.
Yeah.
You know?
I come home with, scrapes and bruises, and I scream when I'm in the shower from the mat burns and cuts, scream like a 13-year-old girl to a Justin Bieber concert. And
it's a lot of screaming.
That's a lot of screaming.
Yeah, that's a lot.
I have no pride. I'll say it. But and she's like, "This is fun to you?" I'm like, "Oh yeah." And she encourages me to do it because she knows that I need that outlet. So during the injury period, I couldn't lift, couldn't do anything I normally do. And that tooth that I was talking about that was missing, that I was reaching for, she's like, I cannot wait till you can go train again because you're an asshole when you don't train. You just you're not the same person. You have a short temper. You're on edge all the time. This, to me, it has become to me sort of, that is my, I feel good. I get in that space.
It's an important thing to do.
It is. And, it doesn't have to be training for people. You find whatever that space is. If it's reading a book, if it's meditation, if it's yoga.
Meditation.
If it's,
wait, slow down.
Yeah.
Don't let them meditate.
Don't let them meditate.
I agree.
Don't do that.
I agree.
I have tried to meditate so many times. I've started and stopped. It just hasn't stuck with me.
Every morning. I've only met like...
It's never stuck. I've been with it for maybe like... The most is maybe like 3 months.
It's upside down, bro.
It will stick at some point. I've stuck with it for maybe 3 months every day with like 5 to 10 minutes. That's it. Mm-hmm. And it made a difference. I was like, I'm going to stick with this.
Yeah, it's fine. It'll stop eventually.
And then it just didn't stick.
If it does it again, unplug it.
Okay.
So I'm not saying that meditation isn't cool. I'm just saying I'm not 100% sold on it. And I guess it depends on what we mean by meditation.
I'm a Sam Harris fanboy, so
So
Sam Harris is big on the meditation.
Yes.
So I know I'm going to keep coming back to it just because I am a fanboy. I admit it.
What is the process that you like to go through to meditate?
For me, because I am, spoiler alert, an atheist, I don't like anything. Oh, God.
We can open up that can.
We'll go there.
Oh, shit. There's going to be some anger.
Oh, rage.
Which I love. Suck it.
So anything that has these spiritual elements, it snaps me out of it. I can't go into that. To me, it's just focusing. The easiest thing for me, I can't do the om and the whatever. It was just focusing on my breath and losing. It's trying to lose the process of consciously thinking. And which for me, I will obsess and go down these rabbit holes with my brain and realize that I've spent however long going from this to this to this. And it's just, it's just releasing that. It's been put to me a better way, and I still haven't reached that, is to allow thoughts happen, but notice them happening. But for me, that just ends up, at this point, going down that rabbit hole in my mind, and then I've ended up somehow someplace completely different and forgot I was even in a meditative space. So for me, the breath, that they talk about the breath being the anchor, and you just focus on the process of feeling the air coming through the nose, down the lungs, into the belly, and feel what's happening and the weight, and just focusing on those sensations. That's like the easiest level, I guess, of meditation, and I'm not advanced at it at all. So that's what I do.
I think time spent doing
that's what I don't do. That's what I wish I was doing.
I think time spent doing that is fine. I think that's good.
Mm-hmm.
I think it'll make you more aware of your body in the moment, and just attempting to really connect with your breath, I think, is a positive thing. I think when people get off into the woo.
Yeah, I'm so anti-woo.
I'm like, oh, man. And, like, I know motherfuckers that have, like, I'm going to go to this ashram for a week. And it's like, look, dude, why don't you just come over and jerk me off instead of Shri, whoever the fuck? Like, because that's what it is. That's what it is.
People love gurus.
I know.
They really love gurus.
And, like, I don't ever want to be one of those. And, like, it can become that. It can become that. Like, martial arts are weird that way.
There are a lot of things that are weird. Strength and conditioning can
everything.
become weird. Everything
every
can become
fucking
weird.
subculture.
Yeah, every subculture.
Skateboarding. There's some guy who's like, look, if you really want to learn, you got to come to the... And you're just a kid at a skate park, dog. No. That dude exists. There's a spectrum of life.
Of course.
There's cunts everywhere. There's cunts everywhere.
You need somebody to call you out on your shit, or at least question you.
And I have that.
A lot.
I have that.
Maybe a little too much sometimes.
No, I don't give a fuck. It's great. It's great. It forces me to prove. Forces. Like, I don't give a fuck. Trust me. Like, on that mat, my ego is exactly where it's supposed to be. Like, it's on that mat.
Right.
By the way, you fucking idiots who are like, oh, there's no ego. Like, what does that even mean? You can't fucking separate yourself from yourself. Like, fuck out of here.
It's a marketing scam.
Yeah. Like, oh, I'm going to lose my ego. You want to lose your ego? You want to experience ego death? It's called ayahuasca. Like, try some. Your ego's going to come with you on the mat. You manage it. You don't allow it to make you into an asshole. Right? You manage your ego on the mat. You don't fucking leave it in some mystical space off the mat.
Yeah. It's right next to my shoes.
But this is one of the good things about...
That's right next to my shoes.
This is one of the good things about something like Jiu Jitsu or any combat martial art, any combat sport, whether it's boxing, Muay Thai, judo, wrestling. There has to be truth there, and it has to be proven at some point on the mats. You are, even if you're getting crushed, even if I'm in the bottom of side, cross side, and Last week, I was just dying, and I can't get out. I still can't get out this week. But now I'm able to breathe and relax in there. I'm not in a panic. I've gotten better. And there's a moment of truth there. It's in the weight room. It's in conditioning. Hey, the 13 down. I made it 1 rep further in the 10 minutes of this conditioning block than I made it last time. If there's a way of measuring, and this is one of the things, I'm really big on measuring results. You have to be able to measure results. That's why I have everybody with a notebook when you come and train with me. You write shit down. I don't want this to be this amorphous, oh, I feel great. I don't want what I often have referred to as the illusion of fitness.
Yeah.
Anybody can make somebody sore. It is so easy to make somebody sore and make them feel like they got a good workout. People, by and large, want the illusion of fitness without actually doing what it takes to get fit. There are going to be days.
He sucks.
Yeah.
And continues to get worse every time I see this dude. He's like, oh, and today you're doing that with 1 leg. It's like, whoa, what? Like, it was hard last time. Yes, but you are stronger now. So now it sucks more.
Make Matt sound like Yoda.
But about the right height. But you're not sore every day. You may
not anymore.
In the beginning, there's going to be a soreness, but your body adapts to the soreness. It
really does. Which man, like if you've decided like, yeah, I'm gonna work out, and then you've had that experience where you got so sore that you couldn't really do shit, and you were like, fuck this. It gets fucking better. Even when the work is worse, it's never gonna suck as much as it sucks then. It's gonna get fucking better. Like
first 2 weeks.
Push through that moment.
Yeah. First, if you can get through those first 2 weeks, it's not to say nothing will be sore, but the soreness drops off so much. It's more like what I describe as, for me, it's more like a heaviness. It's like my legs just feel heavy. Not sore. You can still do the same things.
Yeah.
You can push through.
No, there's times where like I'll think that I'm too sore to do something. Like I'll wake up and I'll be like, oh my God, my thighs. Or during the warm up, I'll be like, oh my God, my quads. And then I'll look at the thing and it'll be like, squats. And I'm like, fuck, I'm not going to be able to do squats today. 20 racket. Like, what? Like it's because that you care about the result. And so you're doing it. It's math. It's like
it really is.
The motherfucker did this, then he can do this. That's simple. Now, do we absolutely know what the maxes are?
Do I need to? No.
Right. So like we're not really training for that purpose.
If you were a power lifter, if you were an Olympic lifter,
but I bet you could guess.
I can guess.
You could look at speed of whatever weight. Right. You can figure it out because you're a good coach.
I have a fairly good.
I have no idea what I could actually do. I have no idea. I know what I've done. But I don't know what I could actually do. Like, I deadlifted 300, and I was like, the first time I tried it, I failed. And it was all my mind.
Yes. Your 300 came up so fast that it was...
Like, the first time I tried it, I was like... Yeah. It was like, I was so scared of it. And then I was like, the next time I was like, no. Like, I realized I was scared of it. I was like, I was just scared. Like, I can fucking pick up 300 pounds. He wouldn't fucking make me do it if I couldn't do it. He's smarter than that. And I just fucking grabbed that shit.
And it came right up so quickly.
Easy.
Yeah.
What? Like, on what planet do I pick up 300 pounds in any lift easily? That doesn't make any sense to me.
All of them.
On all the planets.
All the planets.
That might be the perfect, hilarious answer. All the planets.
Also, just a quick side note. Here Comes a Neighborhood, where Will Smith and Snoop Dogg moved in, was first. Then Naggers was second.
Oh!
Yeah!
Respect.
All right.
Well done. Well done.
I was obsessed with South Park.
I love the callback.
So, yeah, I like that. I'd forgotten that.
See?
Yeah.
I had a spoiler alert. I peeked around the screen. I saw that he got it. But I knew it was just going to slide it in.
Yeah.
It was going to slide it in.
Yep.
Yeah, speaking of sliding in, I'm trying to make sure that phone is charged. You know
Yeah, it's charging now.
If somebody tries to slide in the DMs.
I got you.
We don't want to let a DM slide fall upon deaf ears.
I got you.
Oh, no.
Tinder DM, I got
Sure. No. It was not for Tinder.
Okay.
It's for podcast listeners.
Okay. Yeah.
Who can always DM me, 24/7.
got
Probably awake.
If you got long hair, big booty.
I don't sleep. What?
Huh? Anyway.
You
so,
said long hair and a big
Anyway,
booty?
so we got a fight coming up.
Yeah, her too.
Yeah.
She can slide in the DMs.
Okay,
So tomorrow.
Let me go back because it's just his profile. Let me click on him.
Tomorrow, we're waking up for what fights?
We're waking up for
Let's
the main
make sure
card. Main card, 11 a.m.
See what we're seeing.
Main card, because everything else is like 9 and then 7:30. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not really. I don't see anybody interesting.
I gotta wake up at 7:30 in the morning
No.
to watch who?
No.
Let's hypothetically.
Hypothetically, if you wanted to watch the whole card, it'd be 7:30 to watch some guys in Fight Pass. That
I mean, pull shoes go hard though.
Webster. And we got
Okay.
these guys.
They're pissed
All right.
they don't have
I don't-
vowels.
I do not trust soft-bodied dudes, even at 205.
And then
Respect to Daniel Cormier.
yes, and then Dennis Bermuda's cousin, I guess. I don't know.
The Bermuda's Triangle. That might be the worst nickname I've ever
There you
heard.
go.
Okay.
And then for if you want to wake up at 9, you can watch a dude with like frost tips, like real frost tips from Austria.
Yeah, I don't think we're waking up early.
Mech,
Okay.
Norway.
See, the way you
So
are with
Emil
soft
Meek-
bodies, I'm the other way. If you're too ripped, you're too into the gym.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you are too
what's too
just,
We
yeah,
can't
go
get too
back,
ripped.
go back. Where were we? There was the Frosted Tips guy.
Frost tip guy. Let's
Yeah, go to Frosted Tips. Yeah, he's about the looks.
I mean, he's got frosted tips.
He's got yeah. Maybe it is the combination
Yeah.
of the Frosted Tips
Yeah.
and the abs
Yeah.
that I'm going.
He's like-
That's a first round knockout.
Yeah.
he's getting dropped.
Yeah, and then we got Nick Hine, and then here comes the main card,
Okay.
which is this guy might be like you said too into the gym, Bone Crusher, Congo.
It's not quite Frosted Tips.
All right.
It's a red.
Yeah,
He's got the red mohawk, so that
But
could
we
go
end up
either
getting-
way.
We get Stefan Struve. We
Yes.
get Glover Teixeira, and we get
Yeah.
Shogun.
Yes, so we get Shogun, Textera.
Okay, so these are fights
Teixeira.
that I would wake
Teixeira.
up in the morning to see.
Yeah,
So tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern, we
Yes.
will live stream
yes. Hot chocolate.
our reaction video to this main card. We will do that.
Okay.
It's on FS1 in the morning?
Yes.
Holy shit.
I don't know where they're fighting out of. Let me go look and see. But
Usually, like, when they do these odd times, that shit's only
Germany.
on Fight Pass.
Germany, yeah, they usually. But I think they're just trying to get the best of the rest of their deal before they move it to ESPN.
Respect.
Yeah.
They probably have obligations.
Yeah, they have to get so many
Like, you
cards.
gotta put a lot of shows on.
Yeah, and they're like, fuck. And then now they gotta do that. So
Like,
they're,
all right, well, here's this garbage ass show.
I'm gonna send you some. We're gonna go to Germany.
But sometimes the ones that look like not that star-studded
Yeah,
are awesome.
yeah, and you know,
So I'm banking on that.
you
That's
never-
gonna get me out of bed.
you never know. Maybe you might see a title shot from Shogun after this. Longest win streak in light heavyweight right now.
But look who he's fighting.
Yes,
How old is Hua now?
he
Old.
as
Yeah.
fuck. Let's see.
His age isn't gonna be on there. They don't want to fucking. That's like kayfabe as a motherfucker.
Yeah, let's see. Shogun.
76 years old when he fought.
Seriously.
Let's see.
Kayfabe.
Let's see. How old is this
Joe
man?
Lewis's ass.
Shogun.
Mauricio Hua. He is. What does this say?
I would say 38.
Best Eddie Murphy movie? Do you
Boomerang.
agree? No.
36.
He's
Coming to-
36.
He's 36.
Coming to America.
Yes, but everybody says coming to America.
Of course, because it's the best.
I mean, it's a really good movie.
That's an awesome movie.
But I think, okay, I was being cunty. I was doing most underrated because I'm an asshole.
That's what he's into.
I saw it in the theaters when it came
Boomerang's funny.
out, and
used
I
to
haven't
skip
seen
school.
it since. I should see it again to see what. It's just not memorable to me. All I remember is the feet.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I can really remember about that.
I used to
movie.
skip school, watch Tombstone, A Few Good Men, and Boomerang all the time.
So here's the thing with Tombstone. I learned.
Oh,
I have
right.
not
This is a good one.
I have not verified this, but I have.
We have Anthony for that.
Oh.
What's up?
So You can Google this. All this time I've been saying I'm your huckleberry, but apparently it is I'm your hucklebearer, and hucklebearer is someone who carries your casket. So this whole time I may have been saying it wrong.
Everybody, the entire fucking internet,
yeah,
every GIF. There's so many memes like that.
yeah.
So it is. So you talking about Tombstone, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So in the script it says Huckleberry.
It does.
Yes.
It does.
In
It
the
does.
script
It
itself.
says, yeah. And that's the biggest argument in
But
favor
look
of.
up hucklebearer. Is that a thing?
Yes, a pallbearer, equivalent to a pallbearer.
Interesting.
So here's the question.
All right, so
Was it written as hucklebearer originally?
well, if it's in the script,
But he means like
And
after
then-
an edit, like after
and then
an
they
edit.
changed
Yeah.
it, or did it change?
Like
or
the original
did
script.
somebody misunderstand?
Yeah, like somebody maybe thought it was like a misspelling or something like that and changed it. Like that could have been what happened initially, and nobody just went over it. But there's no way to
Or-
tell.
like, did they do some kind of deep dive and find out that that was like slang?
Mm.
Maybe.
And
That
so-
it was huckleberry that he's saying,
he's
but it's a
saying,
slang
it's-
for
What
huckle.
he's saying is, I'm
Okay.
your hucklebar.
Yeah, I don't have any more.
So is that Val Kilmer's best role, or is it Top Gun?
Oh no, Doc Holliday in Tombstone. He'll
Okay.
never do anything cooler than that.
But
I
come
mean,
on.
that shit he did. There's so many iconic moments in that.
But
There's just so many.
But how many times does he do this?
Yeah, it's not cool. Like Top Gun's not even cool.
Top Gun is cool.
I don't connect to it.
Oh.
But like Tombstone, oh my god! Like, I didn't watch it with the right eyes. I need to rewatch Tombstone. That should be a podcast.
Okay.
I feel like there's a lot of shit in there about what a man is, and even though I probably recited a lot of those lines, I did not fucking know what I was talking about. It was just fun to say, but I never internalized it like I think I'm capable of now. I need to rewatch that movie with a new set of eyes. That's a thing. Note. That's a thing. Because, yeah, there's so much of that. Those lines that are, like, really memorable. Not just from Val Kilmer, but also Kurt Russell. Bill Paxton has a few lines that are...
Tell him I'm coming, and hell's coming with me.
Yeah, who, like... That's all his badass shit.
You got some badass shit in there.
Come on.
Yeah.
You got his shit in. That's worker talk. You got his shit in. Kurt Russell got his shit in there.
Oh, speaking of Kurt Russell, Big Trouble Little China.
All
That's
right,
one
so
of the great
I don't know that
movies.
movie at all.
Oh,
So I saw that movie when I was a little kid, and it
This
freaked me out, and I don't know why, because I don't remember it, but it freaked me out. Like, something about it, there was a moment in it that I, like, now everything else is blank, and I've never gone back and watched it. Now, the same thing happened to me with Gremlins, and I went back and watched it since. I've seen that many times. And, Pee-wee's fucking adventure.
have not seen that, but I'll trade you.
The
I will
large
watch
Marge thing
Pee-wee's.
freaked me the fuck out.
I will watch Pee-wee's.
Oh, you didn't miss anything.
Okay. If that is a seminal sort of thing,
don't
people
think
make
so.
reference to it,
No.
but
It just freaks me out. There were 3 movies when I was a little kid that I was like, this is making me so uncomfortable that I don't want to watch it. But I don't know why. I know the moments in the other 2 movies. I don't know what happened in Big Trouble in Little China. But something happened in that movie that made me like, nope, and then I didn't watch it ever.
Okay.
But it's not lingering. Like, I can watch it for sure.
I'm trying to think what it could be.
But yeah, I was like, nope, not watching this. Big nope. It could be anything.
Yeah. I
Like,
love that movie.
I'm a
That's a
crazy
great
person.
movie. That's a great movie.
It could be anything. It could be a clock. It could be anything. I'm not actually afraid of clocks. I just named a random object. It could literally have been anything. Like, I was not a stable human when I was a kid. Like, nor am I stable now. It's getting better. Way better. But, like, it could have been fucking anything. Something made me just straight nope that movie.
Nope. I'm trying to think what it could be.
Oh, there's no way of knowing.
I mean, there's some weird kind of stuff where like the 3 Chinese, I guess they're from mythology. I couldn't tell you what their character's name. I'm totally screwing this up.
You don't know the Chinese stuff?
I don't know the Chinese stuff, but I know that these are recurring characters
Why
through
would you?
through another Chinese lore, but that they come down with the hats and the lightning, and they got the big hats, and it's
Thunder gods.
yeah.
Yeah, maybe that freaked me out.
Could be that. It could be, who is it? Lo Quan? Is that the guy, the old man in his eyes that
I don't know.
is going for the green-eyed ladies and got to get that so he can.
Look at this guy.
I must have came back to a weird conversation. I was somewhere else for a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was just reading. I was reading articles before.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You're getting ready for weird news.
Yeah, I got ready for weird news because one, I got tricked. I got tricked for about one.
What do you mean?
I thought it
Oh, it was fake news.
No, I thought it was an article, but it was like a audio podcast clip, and I'm like, I don't have time to listen to 9 minutes.
Oh, ain't nobody got time for that.
I mean, it's pretty cool because you can be like a ninja in Japan for like $85,000 a year.
Oh, I tagged you on that. I thought for Facebook.
Oh.
I didn't tag you. I was like, you could make $85,000 a year being a ninja
In Japan. Yeah.
What do you mean?
And there's a shortage of them. I don't know.
There's a shortage of ninjas.
I just don't know. So I was like, I was gonna I thought it was gonna be an interesting article, but it's an audio thing. But you can there's like a shortage of them.
I have stuff to do. Like, had I gone off the deep end, right? Had I decided, oh, I lost my business and I'm not gonna do anything now. I'm just gonna, I don't know. And then I got an email that was like, you can be a ninja. I'd probably be on a plane.
Yeah.
Now, listen, I'm 47 years old, so I'm in the 80s. I owned some shuriken. I'm not gonna lie. I had some nunchucks and
But
shurikens.
I'm not a pussy, so I didn't do that. So
Yeah.
I'm too busy, and money doesn't. I'm not attracted to money. Not like that. Like, because that's not mine. It's like stuff that you're giving me. Like, I want to build something, and then I'll take that money and have fun with that.
Right.
But man, I have been having more and more fantasies about just becoming more and more capable of being valuable and competent in moments that involve weapons, vehicles, survival, death. Yeah. And it's not like I'm not trying to I don't want to overstate it.
Okay.
I was going to say,
Sounds like
this could be a rabbit hole that goes in weird ways. Every time I've seen that stuff, it goes down weird ways.
Well, I'm not going to be like some doomsday prepper.
Yeah. That's where it could end up.
Because that's not how I see it. But having the ability to be a mercenary, if I wanted to, like acquiring all the same skills is something I actually have time for. And like, why wouldn't I be more capable of realistic levels of violence? Like, I love Jiu Jitsu, right?
yes.
But Jiu Jitsu makes me a specialist in one-on-one unarmed combat.
Yeah.
And that's not the only kind of combat there is.
Right.
And there's lots of hours in the day. Why don't I know how to kill more people? And like, why am I not super good at driving my car? There are people who can teach you how to be super good, not like your driving teacher.
Defensive
like
driving.
fucking driving
Yeah.
teachers. Like, why am I not awesome at driving cars? That would be a good skill to have. It's like shit like that. That's all.
Yeah.
So I'm not like, but what if it breaks down, man? Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, I just think, hey, man.
That's an easy answer.
There are a lot of ways. There's things that, like, everyday objects that you interact with that you could be way better at interacting with, and they could actually serve other people in emergencies. Why don't you just acquire those skills? Like, you could. You have time. So,
with this, I think this is going to go back to my original thought, which is that this plan will also make you more sociable, because then you'll just be like, I'm prepared for any situation. What's going to happen? Oh, what? Somebody's going to try to chase me down with the car? I'm going to jack into a car real quick and just peel off. Somebody's going to try. Got it. I'm safe. Yeah.
I mean, maybe.
Yeah, like it'll be like just like you just feel more comfortable just being out and about because it's like
okay.
Assessing threat levels
right.
will be.
You're right. Okay, high fives. High fives. A very good analysis. So the justification for the high five is, if I trace it back to being severely agoraphobic, there was a moment shortly after that where I tried jiu-jitsu for the first time. And since becoming more and more competent at jiu-jitsu, I've been more and more capable of being in public.
Right.
Where I don't enjoy being.
Yeah.
I just don't enjoy it.
Right.
Often you'll see me with headphones. If you see me out with headphones in my ear, don't talk to me. Like, I love you. I work really hard to express that. And very little else about how I feel about humans. Like, I work really hard to love you. Let me love you. Don't talk to me right now. If I don't have headphones in,
Right.
I feel pretty good. But when the headphones are in, they're because I have to get shit done, and I feel horrible about everyone. And so, but I have to still get shit done, and I don't want to be fucking disrespectful. So I put myself in a space where I'm listening to something that's going to improve my life. So I make sure that something's going in my mind that's going to improve my life because there's something wrong with me, and that's why I can't fucking deal with you. So instead of going through it and being like, all these fucking people, I'm just not going to talk to any of you and make me better. It's becoming stronger and more capable that allows me to become more sociable.
Right.
Now, it's a very good assessment of me. I don't know if that applies to absolutely everyone. It probably applies to somebody. Like, when you make yourself more capable, when you make yourself stronger and faster and more skilled, you can make yourself more vulnerable with confidence. Because, if worse comes to worse, fuck a nigga up. Simple.
I have a different I have a different perspective on this, and I think it's because I'm 47, married, 2 kids. I'm going to parks, and you know, I'm going to children's museum probably after this podcast.
Right.
You know,
Which is awesome.
I'm not getting into fights at children's museums, sort
Right.
of thing. So it's the sort of thing I'm like, do you know how to do an arm drag and a rear naked choke? Then for the situations I'm likely to encounter in life, I've pretty much got all the self-defense I need.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, I'm just not going to be in a situation where I'm at a bar at 2 a.m. with somebody getting randy
Like,
and
we'll
deciding
go to fucking bars.
Yeah.
Right.
I used to be. There was a time, you know, but it's been so long since then for me. That it's like, knife defense. I'm like, what? You know, when am I going to be dealing with a knife?
Right.
See, that's why I want to learn how to shoot people.
See?
Well, I guess it's because I was also...
See what?
I served in the Marines. So,
Yeah.
you know, I did a lot of shooting, and to me, they're just tools. They're just a tube that shoots something down it really fast.
No, I agree.
And...
But I'm not very competent. Like, if you hand me a gun, I can put it on target probably. But, like, under ideal circumstances, for sure. I would need absolutely everything to be in place that would, like, help me. Like, nobody in the way. You're a simple bad guy, and you're far enough away that I have time to draw. Right? Like, I might hit you in the chest. I might. But, like, I'm not in any way confident that I have a good chance at doing it. But I just know I might. That's not enough. That's not enough. And it's easily fixed. It's just like reps.
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
And then, like, learning more skills. Like, how does one clear a room? I don't know. Why don't I know that?
corners.
I should learn. So I just think I will. I think I should. And I don't think that, man, I think everybody should know this. Like, why don't men know this?
Play more first-person shooters. You'll figure out how to clear a room.
Yeah, I don't want to do it that way. I want to do it with my eyes. I do. I don't think that's weird. Is that weird?
What? That you want to be able to like learn how to do all that stuff?
Yeah.
I don't think it's weird. I mean,
Good.
Yeah, it's fine. It's normal. It's no weirder than anybody else wants to learn how to like lift weights with their vagina. Like I don't think it's any weirder than that.
That's way weirder.
Exactly.
Is that weird news?
No, it's not weird news.
That's not even weird news.
That's, not weird. That's just normal life.
That's Kegel cones.
Let's go to weird news.
Okay. So we'll do this in the order of sad or disgusting, happy, and then disgusting again. So sick man who had sex with a horse claimed animal gave consent by winking at him. So
I mean, You ever been winked at? They seem intelligent.
So what he said was that he was like.
But did he penetrate or was he penetrating?
I have been winked at by a horse.
I believe he was penetrating. If I'm not.
We're all good here.
When that the guy was penetrating the horse is all good.
Wait, no.
That's what I'm saying. He penetrated the horse.
No, that's fucked up.
Yeah, because he's like.
No, he should be killed.
Because he said that the horse smelled his
See,
crotch.
like if you fuck a horse, I only have sympathy for you. I think you have issues, right? But like, I'm talking about like if the horse goes inside of you.
Yeah.
Fair play.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna really complain. I'm not really gonna complain because
I'm actually
you
kind of
can't
impressed.
Force a giant animal to do that. You can't force a giant animal to do that. You can create circumstances that make it likely, but you can't force it. If you force some object or some part of you inside an animal, like, I think you should be killed, like, violently. Like, something horrible should happen to you. And maybe some of your friends.
Yeah.
Like probably at least 2 of your friends.
Yeah. So
unless you're real good at keeping secrets.
Yeah, nobody's that good.
Like,
nobody's that
probably
good.
Probably 2 of your friends.
Yeah.
They probably need to get a little. What is that? They need to meet Mr. Mayhem. They need to get out of here.
In his defense.
It was a girl horse.
Okay.
It's even worse. Take advantage of a woman.
I have been winked at by a horse who was trying to tell me something.
I
was at Santa Anita, went down to the paddock area, watched him walk around, and this horse, I still remember his name, Golden General, he looked at me and just gave me the wink and went and lifted his head. Then he went around, did that again. Looked at my buddy, I'm like, we got to put some money on that guy. Won by like 4 lengths.
There you
we
go.
Like,
got this.
There
I
you
got
go.
this. He was telling me so if a horse can tell me bet on me,
Yeah.
It might be able to be like,
it might be
Fill
able
me
to
up.
say, I'm just saying it's a possibility.
Right.
fill
right,
me
right.
up, bro.
Yeah.
Penetrate me, please.
So they said that his logic was that the horse sniffed his crotch and was like, yeah, and gave him a wink, and so that means let's fuck in his mind. And
How? Does it say how long he was having sex with the horse?
it doesn't say, but it does say it happened. It is not the first time this has happened. It's like 2 other sexual acts has occurred with the horse.
With the same
With the
horse.
same horse. Yeah.
I mean, I don't approve.
Yeah, no.
I really don't. And, like, I'm a depraved fuck.
What's crazy
And,
is
like,
that it's only 5
like,
months.
I would never engage in bestiality.
Right.
It's just not something I'm not interested in that. But like, again, like, if you are getting railed, I really,
Don't have a problem with it.
I can't, like, I just don't want to hang out with you. Like, I don't want you to tell me, but like, if that's happening behind closed doors, I wouldn't be like, break that fucking door down and make that stop. But like, if you're putting your finger in a cat's asshole, I would shoot you in the face.
Yeah. It's a little so aggressive.
Like, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So I think this person should be done away with. And
Yeah.
again,
Yeah.
2 of your friends too. We gotta pick them out carefully. It's not random. It's just like
The 2
no,
closest
you
ones.
know 2 other motherfuckers.
Yeah.
You're probably part of a community that
Yes.
does this.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
Like we all have subcultures that we're a part of.
Yeah. Yeah. So he only got like 5 months for this, and
What the fuck?
and he has to pay like $600 fine.
Shut up,
Yeah, like it's like let me try to find it.
man. You can just fuck horses out here.
Let's see.
That's fucked.
I don't know if it says it here, somewhere around here.
But I guess you can't like. All right. So it's not that animals have the same rights and shit,
Yeah, there
right?
you go. Oh, 10 months. I'm sorry, jail for 10 months, and he served most of it already because they were just.
But like somebody should fuck you up. Like somebody should fuck you the fuck up or something. Like
Right.
something like okay, we can't give you like 30 years because that's saying that the horse is a person, I guess.
Yeah.
And then that gets complicated.
Right.
So and like if you do it to a horse, is that different than doing it to a mouse? Like it's complicated. And so you just say it's probably like the offense is probably like sex with an animal. Or
Right.
sex with, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
So it's probably very vague, and
Yeah.
so there the fucking time is low. If you abuse an animal, like abuse,
Yes.
you sexually abuse an animal,
Right.
the beating that you should get when you get out of prison, like
And maybe
wait?
or in
Pedophiles
prison.
get it in
Or
prison.
prison. Yeah. Or in prison.
Yeah.
like hammers, I'm throwing batteries at you.
You probably
Like,
you probably
I'm
shouldn't
coming
get
up
it.
the top rope. There's thumbtacks. Like we going hard. Light bulbs, barbed wire.
You probably shouldn't get a beating quite to the level that the pedophile gets the beating, but it should definitely be
No, it's on the same level. Like,
not to the same level.
no, it's on the same. It's because it just means that
It's
like
the same thought process.
like you see vulnerability
Oh no,
And-
you deserve a beating.
and nothing is safe around you. It means nothing is safe around you. That's what both of those things mean. And since they mean the same thing, same solutions.
Yes.
Now here's something that fucking
What?
oh man, this
What?
made me fucking livid.
Ooh.
I don't know when I open up this can of worms
I
in a
think
way
I know where you're going with this because I think I was about to bring it up.
because somebody close to me
Oh, okay.
posted a meme that's like pedophiles. Here's the cure. It's a picture of a bullet, right? Right? Common meme that everyone's seen. And then someone typed, I learned that there are people out there who cannot control this compulsion, who do not act upon it, and blah, 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 blah. Now, it's the phrase. It's not the person. I'm not going to talk about who the person is or how I know the other person.
Right.
The phrase, I learned that this, that is the evidence that the left has too much control, and at the far left, I mean, like the super dark, like the Nazi end of the far left, the same, like where there's levels to everything, right?
Yes.
Where you have disgusting Nazi here, farthest right. We basically agree upon that. We could probably even get more extreme if we wanted to. On the other end is the motherfucker who taught you that. Like, that is not behavior that we need to add into acceptance. We can explain it. We can even be capable of explaining it to the point of empathy. But that's dangerously close to adding another stupid letter to the end of your long, long list of letters that started with just trying to protect gay people. Like, it's dangerously fucking close to that. And we need to be cautious of that.
I'm going to make you... Okay, so this is where I thought you were going. I just thought you were going to reference something. I haven't watched it yet, so I'm commenting on something that I have not watched.
What?
But it has popped up several times that there is now a TED Talk from somebody basically
The
saying...
19-year-old who says, I'm attracted to children?
It appears to be in the thumbnail, a woman who's talking about how this is somehow a sexual preference.
Mm-hmm.
And...
Dude, it's been coming. Like, this been coming, bro. Like, I've been ready for this. This is not news to me. These
I have not wanted to watch that and then just be enraged. You know, there's enough stuff. Yes. Okay, this is it.
Yeah, no, this has been coming.
This is it. I have not had the
guts. It's going
guts.
to be delivered by a bitch who looks just like that. Because she's now one of these brainwashed fucking zombies who thinks that every man is dangerous, who thinks that the hierarchies and the fucking patriarchy need to be torn down. That bitch thinks a lot of dumb things. And she's read a lot of dumb people. And she's been hyped up.
They got rid of the video for it, but...
Oh, okay, so now I'm not going to go down that road.
Probably
I'm sure
not.
somebody mirrored
has
it. It's out there.
It's out there somewhere. But
Dude, fuck out of here. That is not news to me.
So I thought you were going to reference this
No.
because it's kept
No,
popping
it's not
up.
news to me. I
and
didn't know that TED Talk even happened. Because
I have not wanted to click that link
Dude,
because I know
I'm telling you, like that's fucking
how
coming.
angry I will get.
That's coming. Because it's not because gay people think that.
No.
Just like they don't think asexuals should be on the fucking list either, I bet. But now, the people who control what those letters are, their dicks are too big. And they're too far to the left, and their dicks are too big. And a lot of people didn't see these cunts coming. And like that's why when people like hear me talk now and they're like, "Oh, is Darren a Republican?" I'm not a fucking Republican. I was never a Democrat. I am a left-leaning thinking person, I guess. But I am very aware of how cunty everyone who's running shit is. And how weird it's getting. And I don't support that shit. Like, I can love people who are transsexual and think that there are two genders. That transsexual is not another one. It's just male and female. And so that means that I don't need to call you they. Sorry. I'm not even going that far. Because the only transsexual people who have been close to me use pronouns that they dress for every fucking day. They present themselves as what they want to be called. It's pretty fucking easy. I don't have to do any guesswork. I don't have to ask you which one of these 78 fucking things to call you. Because only an asshole is called Zer. Only an asshole is called Zim. So we don't have to protect assholes. We have to protect her. We have to protect him. And they've worked hard to become those people and to earn the right to be seen as her and him. They had to jump through a lot of fucking hoops and have a lot of uncomfortable moments and conversations. And now some asshole who read a fucking article or who was told by a teacher needs you to call them Zer and wants it to be law? Suck my dick. And that doesn't make me a Nazi. It doesn't mean I'm intolerant, even though I am intolerant. As I'm also tolerant. It's not me who lost my mind. It's you. It's you. It's most of my fucking friends. You've lost your fucking minds. You fell asleep at the political wheel. That's why I put it down and put on pajamas and said, fuck you guys. Remember when I used to hang out with you? You? You who's like my friend who doesn't do Jiu Jitsu? Who I don't really ever talk to? Like all of you who think I've lost my mind? I'm like, you wanna know why I don't fuck with you? It's because you've lost your minds. Because no one's punched you in the face recently enough.
So
no
I
one's
have
kicked you in the dick.
I have actually, for the sin.
Not that I'm hot about this.
Yeah.
Of course not.
For the sin of being a Jewish man. For being a sin of a Jewish man who doesn't think that Nazis' right to say horrible things should be curtailed by law. Yeah. I have been called a Nazi.
It's insane.
Or a white nationalist. I'm like, wait a minute.
Insane.
When I was growing up, when I was a kid, and the few times I went to synagogue,
like, here's a right to be a fucking retard.
I got to play the part of the Jewish ACLU attorney for my congregation in like 3rd or 4th grade, who defended the Nazis' right to march in Skokie, Illinois. And I was like, he was a hero of mine. That here are the worst possible people who want to march through the streets of Holocaust survivors in Skokie, Illinois, chanting their, all their anti-Semitic stuff. And this country was so strong, and that they have a right to be that big of assholes, and it's protected by law. And I thought that was something fantastic and great about this country. And I despise those people. But I love the fact that a Jewish attorney defended their right. And today, that makes me a Nazi. It makes me the same as the people marching to defend their right to be assholes. I actually got told about the Charlottesville.
It should just be understood. It should just be understood. Like, the second that you understand that we live in a country that has these laws and it's founded upon these things, these fucking rights that everyone likes to talk about, and one of them is the freedom of speech.
The most important right.
And to only value it when people say shit you like is fucked up. And we know that. And instead of thinking about you can't give people platforms, understand that we're just allowing people to reveal themselves. If you change your perspective on it, you don't have to throw batteries at Milo. If you were like, oh, he's a fucking cunt, and he's this, and he's that, and he's speaking there, shut it down. You should be like, everybody needs to see what the fuck this asshole says. It should be obvious.
So here's the flip side.
But you don't let people do this. And it's the same thing. Like, if the Nazis come to town, they are identifying themselves as assholes in public. Let's see who they are. Let's see who the biggest fucking assholes are. Let's know. Oh, you're an asshole? Cool, now I know. So the next time I see you, and you're just in a sweatsuit, I'm gonna be like, no, nigga, I remember you. You're a fucking asshole. That's great. You reveal yourself in the daylight. Fantastic. I don't have to worry who the Nazis are. I know. Great.
So the flip side, which you just pointed out, to the people who think people who say awful things shouldn't have a legal right to say it. The other side of that are people who think because you have a legal right to say it, you just respond, well, it's his right to say it. No, you have a right to say stuff, but you don't have a right to say it without being criticized or called on the carpet for being an asshole. Yep. So, with your right comes, it doesn't mean you have a right to say it without criticism.
Right.
So you'll see people who say, well, he has a right to say that. I'm
like,
you're right, he does. And I have a right to call him an asshole for saying
Which
it.
is another thing. Like on the furthest end of that, like, I can say magical things because I have certain things holding me back. Like, I can get away with things because I'm black. Like, that's fucked up. Like, there's things that I could be like, you can't say that to me. As a black person in America. And people are going to be like, I can say that about fucking anything and some cunt will clap for me. And she looks like that girl.
Yes. Yes.
That girl giving that stupid fucking pedophile speech.
Yes.
If I say, as a black man in America, doesn't matter what I say after that.
Obama.
Her hands come together like magic, like magnets are in her palms.
Yeah.
It's fucking outrageous.
Yeah.
It's outrageous. I can silence you. You can't say that to me because I'm a black person. But
yes.
But it's not that simple. The math starts to get harder and harder to do the more you chop it up, right? Like, okay. Like, you identified yourself as an atheist. I don't even have a way to chop myself up like that. So the easiest way would be to throw me in a similar box, which would be agnostics, right? So, like, okay, so you put me in that box. So I'm black. I'm male. I am flexible sexually.
There you go.
One would say, I guess.
That's pretty PG.
I don't know what name there is for that.
Yeah.
Whatever. Bailey J.
There you go.
Hit me on the jack. If you have a hairy chest, don't bother sliding in my DMs. Is that clear?
Yeah.
That would define my sexuality.
There you go.
Like, Bailey J.
Okay. Bailey J. Okay.
Big J, not okay.
No.
That's officially the title.
There you go.
I made up my own shit.
There you go.
All you guys are getting called Zim and Zer. That's my sexuality. You must respect it. You have to call me that now. If you believe in that shit, you have to call me that. You have to call me Bailey J. Okay, Big J. Not okay. Is the title that you must refer to when you refer to Darren Branch's sexuality.
Oh,
if
God.
You wish to be called anything other than him or her.
Yeah.
Is that a fair law?
I don't think
it's a fair exchange.
I guess it's a fair exchange. I don't know if you can make it into a law.
They tried to make their shit into a law.
Yeah, but
I think they succeeded somewhere.
I don't think you can just do it for one person.
Why not?
Okay, just be like,
where does it stop? That's the point.
Yes.
Like, how much sympathy for me being black do I get before you got to be like, but you're also a dude, and that gives you certain advantages.
Yes.
Like, where's the fucking line? And if you can't tell me where the line is, then we don't get to fucking use that as an excuse for anything. You motherfucker. Because you can't do any good math on it. The only good math you can do is you're here and you can do more shit. You can do real math on that. Hey, you're here. You can wake up at 9 in the morning and see Matt now.
No, man, you can't do that. That's different. You have a different time that you wake up than white people. You can't do that. It's different. It's different. Your clock is off by 15 minutes.
You know what?
At least.
It has been off.
At least.
There was a time where I was definitely going to be 5 minutes late every single time.
10 minutes early now.
Raise your standards, bitches.
10 minutes early.
Raise your fucking standards and things get better. As I make them worse. As I make them worse on me, everything's getting fucking better. It's not great yet. Still sucks. A lot of the time. Still fucking poor. It's not fun. Because I've been hood rich before.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
I've heard the
Not
story.
rich. Hood rich.
I've heard the stories.
Shit was fun. We are not hood rich. We are buying food in bulk. We are meal prepping. We are not going out. We are smoking tiny joints. Did you notice, bitch? Did you notice? You didn't see those baseball bats on the podcast. You didn't see a big ass blunt on the podcast. Little baby joints.
I tell you what, I hit that Mega Millions. I'm still shopping at Costco though. I love Costco. So
Costco keeps
don't
the
bag
cost
on
low.
bulk.
There you go.
Costco's still good.
Costco keeps the cost low.
Yeah. Best meat too.
There you go.
You go to that meat section?
Look, that's pro wrestling 101 that I didn't get until like 2 weeks ago. I did not understand it. Like I did, intellectually, but I wasn't ready to accept it. Like I accepted lifting heavy things in the morning is now part of your life. Save your money, kid. Save your money, kid. Where are you shopping? Who's that for? Like, I don't know when the last time I bought a nice piece of clothing was, but there was a time where I was like posting cool shit I bought on Facebook. Like, look at these shoes. I just got these shoes. I was super excited about them. Never. Save your money, kid. Pro Wrestling 101. Anthony?
Have your baby in Chick-fil-A. That'll save you some money too.
What?
Yes. You'll get nuggets for
Oh,
life.
man. You just came right in. You just came in with the elbow. You're like, you know what you also do? You can have your baby in a Chick-fil-A. Save you on that fucking hospital shit.
So,
Little nugget gets free nuggets for life.
yes. So what happened is that
Now, wait. Are these good people who are in Chick-fil-A?
so
This isn't some weird I didn't know I was pregnant shit, right?
no, it's not like it's like no, I wasn't. I was pregnant and I took a shit and then it came out. No, it wasn't like that. It was like they were just like gonna take their kids to.
Oh, this is awesome.
Yes.
Oh, this couldn't be better.
Yes.
Oh, see, but everyone's gonna hate me for liking this so much.
I know why. I know
This
exactly
is
what you're gonna say.
Fucking hilarious. So, apparently, the people that this happened to are like the whitest, Trumpiest people.
Yes.
And it happened in a Chick-fil-A.
Yes.
That's amazing.
So
All right, Jesus is real. It's over.
so what happened is I knew you would like this.
It's super funny.
Yes. Is what happened is that they were just like they wanted like she knew she was gonna be pregnant, like have her baby soon. So they were like meeting at Chick-fil-A to like it was like after hour Chick-fil-A was about to close. They're just meeting there in the parking lot to like give their kids to like another relative to like do the exchange, and then they're gonna go back home and just kind of like wait it out until like she starts feeling contractions. Well, that shit didn't work out because as soon as they got there, she felt all of them, and then she was in active labor right then and there in the parking lot. So they went up to Chick-fil-A, banged on the door, so they let them in. And they went into
some water and shit.
Yeah, water
Someone's
stuff. They went in
having
the
a
stall, and then like she started
gonna
crowning, and then as like the baby was coming out, the umbilical cord was wrapped around the baby's neck.
Whoa.
So the husband was just like, he didn't tell her what happened. He just told her like, relax. He didn't tell her what happened, and he unwrapped the cord and pulled it out. They cut the cord while they were still in the bathroom. The ambulance came on their way, and the baby was healthy and fine. They did it all by themselves. Yes.
Well done.
Yes. And then
Well done.
We cannot end on a good note though.
Oh.
Well, it depends on your perspective.
Well,
now,
yeah.
if you can say that's the worst
Oh.
thing that's ever happened.
No, this is the worst thing that ever happened.
You can be like, this. No, see, you fucked it up. 'Cause now it's already. You showed it to us. So there's people who are gonna see that and be like, they're
Yes.
gonna be turned off.
How are they gonna be turned off? Because this guy's a hero. Because they did it in a Christian, wholesome place. That's the next holiest place you could have your baby at, besides church. I don't see what's wrong here. Jesus was there with them the whole time. I think it was fine. It was a
See,
very
people are gonna
traditional
think that with
family.
Christians.
It was a traditional family restaurant with a traditional family having a kid. I think it's perfectly fine.
I do too. I think it's perfectly fine. I think it's very funny.
Yes.
And I
Yeah.
think that it's interesting that conservative people experienced a complication and dealt with it themselves.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious how many very liberal people would have panicked. I feel like there's certain aspects like in like this is all like, like Peterson shit.
Right.
There's certain aspects that tend to make people conservative, and certain aspects that tend to make people liberal, like just like personality traits.
So, okay, I
And
say this.
Some of them suit you in an emergency better than others, but you still like both sides can be successful. Like, it's just like I feel like the perfect storm makes it funnier. Like, I feel like it's like, of course, like they just did it.
Yeah.
Like, get her done.
Yeah.
Like thing around the neck, just fix it.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of people who aren't in a tax bracket that should be voting the way that they're voting, but have that like get her done. Like, this is going wrong, just fix it. Like, that vote conservative because they kind of identify with a certain ethic. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So I say this knowing full well that I put myself in a category very early in the podcast, saying I'm an atheist. To me, we could discuss that, but that's more an absence of what I believe rather than what I believe. It's just
Right.
I don't have a belief in X.
Yeah, like,
Okay, and that's just a shorthand way. And I do think
who's
there's
got time for that anymore?
I think there's some benefit to having labels because it helps you. Because our conversations in just everyday life would be impossible if you didn't have some labels.
Like,
But yeah, it would take
apple or orange? What do
forever.
you want?
Yeah, it would take
Apple or
forever to have a
orange?
talk.
Give you a pillow.
So, but one of the things where I think, okay, so we have that broad spectrum when it comes to sexuality. I think that's more applicable of like not having labels or having this broad more than conservative liberal.
No, I agree.
Because people
I was saying those
are
are
a
like the
hodgepodge of all sorts of different views.
I agree.
And again, as an atheist, most of you atheists out there will know instantly who my
Hey,
intellectual hero is, who is Christopher
Harris?
Hitchens. No, Christopher Hitchens of the living is Sam Harris, but
Yeah.
Christopher Hitchens is my intellectual hero. I don't agree with him on everything, but I aspire to his level of intellectual honesty because there was some analysis done in a book, and I can't remember. Michael Shermer, who's if you know who he is,
Familiar with him.
I can't remember the book, but he talks about like if I were to pick your views on these three disconnected areas, I can predict your political beliefs on these 10 other disconnected areas. And it has to do with this like tribal thinking or this chunking. I couldn't remember. I'd have to read that part of the book again.
Okay.
But it could be abortion and environmental, whether you believe in global warming or and some other thing.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like the one person who's well known, who every view that you would we'd think it doesn't fit with Christopher Hitchens. He looks at every disconnected thing on its own merits. You may disagree with how he comes out on that,
Like,
he doesn't.
I could be anti-abortion and pro-death penalty,
and think that global warming is real.
Yes.
But don't think that you should have 76 genders.
Yes.
Yeah, you could have these things which are on both sides from our traditional left-right
No, that's not what I'm
paradigm.
saying, actually, for the record.
Okay.
I'm not actually claiming any of those.
No. What I'm saying is it's an example of how you could have views that don't fit neatly into conservative, or you're judging each one on its own merits, rather than I'm on, Rogan talks about this. I'm on team Democrat. I'm on team conservative. I'm on team, man. I'm on team woman. It's just, and by the same token, labels help to some degree because they can help the conversation move along. Like if I say I am an atheist, you kind of get a broad view. We may have to flesh it out.
Right, exactly.
So it's like, I don't know where that tension is. I don't know where the right line between using labels or just not is, but it's just, I don't know. It just popped into my head, so I thought I'd throw it out here.
Do you want to go deep? Want to go dark?
Let's go.
All right. What's your take on abortion?
Mine?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll tell you straight
I
up.
don't have a thought.
So that's where I was.
Yeah.
Right? But I wanted to get a better answer because I wanted to actually answer their question.
Yeah.
Because that's my thought.
Yeah.
My thought is I don't have a real thought, and I really want to make sure I don't ever have to think about it. I want to make sure that I make choices that make it so that that's never a question
Yeah.
that I'll have to answer.
Correct.
Like, so, but that's not an answer to their question. Their question is, are you pro-life or are you pro-choice? That is their question. That's what they always ask. Does that make sense?
Yes, I understand the question.
So, if I had to answer the question without any other context, I think I would have to be forced to say I'm pro-life.
Okay.
Which, out of context, like, so again, I'm just answering the fucking question.
Yes.
Out of context would then be like, lump him into this group of people who want to fucking bomb abortion clinics and shit.
Yes.
Or he's probably Christian.
Conservative.
He's probably conservative. He's a Trump supporter.
Yes.
Okay, wait. That's a weird word now that he's a winner.
Yes.
So he's a fan of Donald Trump.
Trump enthusiast, if you will.
Trump enthusiast. I think is what the language should change to that.
Yes.
He won, dickhead. You kind of should support your president. You just don't, like, suck his dick. Like, you don't jerk him off. You don't say, like, he's doing such a great job, right? You just let him exist, and you hope the world doesn't fall apart.
Right.
That's as far as you need to support him. So I could get lumped into another group. Now I'm a Trump supporter.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? It's fucking dicey. But the reason I'd have to say if you only asked me and you didn't ask me the context is because it comes down to deciding that I'm going to be a moral person or a pious person, but I'm going to live a life that decreases the chances of me ever having to ask that. And as judgmental and cunty as it sounds, so should you. And if we all agreed that even with a bit of recklessness, if we basically decided that we were going to live lives that did not really permit for that to be a likely event, then we're only really talking about a couple percentages of the people that ever have to ask that question. And why do we have laws based on them? Like, why is this a question? Let's just not do that. Let's just not do that. And then, if there's a way for them to get that service, you don't prosecute them. That's the solution. That's it. That's what I would do. Is that fucked up?
No.
I have a
It's quite ridiculous.
I have a perspective on this. And it comes from two places.
Okay.
One is tied into my story because it appears like I am the only one who has had a girlfriend who got an abortion.
Well, I don't know.
Well, knowingly. Went to the clinic, held her hand as it happened.
Never done that.
All right. And that ties in with the second part of that, which is it happened while I was in law school. So now you all know I am a lawyer.
There you go.
All right. So there's the legal. Should abortion be a constitutional right? Meaning,
that's strange.
Okay, so I have a perspective on this, which is one of these ways where it's so hard to, why I hate categories. It is possible to believe that Roe v. Wade was absolutely wrongly decided, that in the Constitution, there is no right to terminate a fetus.
Right.
All right. Where do you find that? It's in this penumbra of rights, and I'm going to quote stuff from various cases that you don't need to know. Griswold versus Connecticut, where the right to privacy was discovered. And you can think that Roe v. Wade was absolutely wrongly decided under your reading of the Constitution and the law, and still believe all that does is it means that you don't have a right under the Constitution to it.
Right.
But now it gets kicked back to the states. So states can still have it legal. You can still think abortion should be allowed.
Just not federally.
But it means that the Constitution doesn't mandate that it's allowed.
Right.
Very few people understand that there's lines to be drawn there. I would probably put myself in that category. I actually
There
think
should be a safe
Roe v.
place
Wade
where that
was
can be
probably
done.
I probably think from a constitutional point of view, Roe v. Wade was wrongly decided. But I do believe that you should have a right to get that, and states should pass laws where it is allowed. Now, this is where it gets more complex for me, because I don't think it should be an unfettered right to an abortion from someone who went with his girlfriend in law school and, did that. And I'm now coming at this from the perspective of having done that many, many years ago, meeting my wife and us having 2 kids, and me sitting there at those doctor's appointments, seeing the ultrasound and the benefit of additional science. And I sit there and I'm like, that's a person. That's Dylan. That's Reed. Those are my little boys in there.
Right.
All right. And so I'm not like I was when I was in my 20s. Now that I've been that just changes you.
Right.
Do I think there should still be some degree of right to get it early on? Yes. Do I think it should be severely curtailed after some point? Yes, I do. And I didn't used to feel that way. But having been through that experience, it just changed me. It really did. There's something I don't know how to explain.
Here's the red flag. And I can't believe I didn't notice it until just now. And I'm sure that lots of people have said this, because there's so many people who are smarter than me. But no one's ever said it to me either. There's something deeply fucking gross and disingenuous about forming that question the way that it is often formed. On television, everywhere. Do you support a woman's right to choose? Is a fucking ridiculously manipulative, shitty way to even start that conversation. And it reveals itself in its manipulation to be something that we should probably be very fucking cautious about dealing with.
Okay, Michael Shermer, whom I just referenced.
Does that make sense?
I think it may still be in the same
That's
book.
fucking dark.
It might still be
Like,
in the
why
same...
the fuck did they phrase it that way? So whose team, who put that together? And what are their intentions? If you're gonna conceal a very complicated, difficult issue, maybe it is. I don't know. I'm not smart enough to know how difficult it is. But if you're gonna conceal it, and you're gonna seal it up in a little pill, you're gonna say, well, don't you support a woman's right to choose? Because to say, no, I don't, sounds horrible. It makes you sound so evil. That is a fucking vicious weapon that just gets wielded around all willy-fucking-nilly. Fuck you for that. Fuck you for ever saying that to anyone else. Stop saying that.
Without knowing it, you have actually just made a point. It might have been the same book I referenced by Michael Shermer.
It's fucking gross.
Made the same point he made, which is it's a false dichotomy. Pro-choice or pro-life.
That's what I mean. If you force me to answer...
If you're anti-abortion or pro-abortion rights, you, on both sides of it, you are both in favor of choice and of life. That's not the debate. The debate is, are you in favor of abortion rights or that you think there should not be a right to an abortion? That's the debate. We've phrased it in ways that are political.
Manipulative.
Are you pro-life?
Bullshit.
Who wants to say no?
Right.
I'm anti-life.
I'm anti-life.
Are you pro-choice? No, I'm anti-choice. Nobody wants to say that. So those are all manipulative words. And Michael Shermer, you just made the same point he made, which is we have framed the debate in completely the wrong way for political reason. And it's manipulative on both sides.
Yeah.
Now, here is something I have done with people who are hardcore pro-life.
I'm not hardcore.
So I've had this debate with people, and I've often tried, one of the things I often try to do is try to, and this is one of the benefits I think from law school, is you have to argue positions you don't believe all the time.
Right.
What that helps you do is see something through somebody else's eyes. It also helps you see their best arguments, not their worst. It's always easy to straw man or pick the Twitter egg who says the craziest thing and attack that rather than the person who has the strongest arguments.
Yeah.
So one of the things, now this doesn't work with some people, but most people who are pro-life.
I don't want to cut you off.
Okay, let me finish really quickly.
It would be, I am pro-life and I vote pro-choice. Would be the best way for me to answer it. Finish.
Okay. So one of the things is there are a lot of people, probably most people, can't prove this, who are quote unquote pro-life, believe that there should be an exception in the case of rape or incest.
Right.
So what I tell them is I say, okay, let's say that the baby was actually born. It is 1 second after birth, and that is the product of rape or incest. Do you think that you should be able to terminate that baby?
They're gonna say no.
Well, they're going to say no. Absolutely not. Okay, but you have made the argument that this is a baby at 3 months, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a baby at 3 months, but you are recognizing you do not see it in the same light as when it's born. Because in one case, you say, yes, you can terminate it because of rape or incest, but once it passes through that portal, it's now rape or incest. We're still in that same horrible creation. So you have already recognized...
Well, the portal is redeeming.
Yeah.
So the portal is magical. This is what they're saying.
The
portal is magical, and once you come out of the portal, you are now protected.
You are now protected
by sacred laws that we cannot explain but accept.
But if
you're inside and there's something deeply horrible about your creation, then it still belongs to you, because you are also kind of horrible and flawed. So you can still have that. Mm-hmm. But once it leaves the portal, it is a part of the creation that is the whole and it is sacred.
But a significant percentage of pro-life people, when they are not talking about rape or incest, will say there is no difference between which side of the portal you're on. They only make that distinction when it's the product of rape or incest.
Yes.
So you can use that wedge to say, wait a minute, you actually do see a difference on which side of the portal you're on.
Yes.
So now we can talk about where that line should be drawn. Because it's not the same baby that came when it comes out the portal as it was when it's in.
This gets so much darker. It's biology.
So this does not work on the people which most people see as
much darker.
Most people see as extremists, but I actually see them as having at least a logically consistent view, which are the pro-life people who say no exception, even in the case of rape or incest. If you see that as a baby, the same baby that just exited the portal, then of course you have to have that point of view. You're not allowed to murder a baby just because that baby was the product of rape or incest. You wouldn't do it if it were on the other side of the portal and had just been born. Oh, let's strangle it. You wouldn't do that. That's murder. They see the same thing at the 3-month mark and say that is a horrible thing that you were raped and are carrying this baby. But that's a human, So that argument doesn't work for those people. But I think that's at least a logically consistent point of view. Now, and you can actually make people kind of come closer together and see the other person's point of view. Now we're just where do you draw the line?
Right.
And that gets into their science can say, when do, fetal pain develop? When does the brain develop? When do these censor? And maybe in another, who knows, 60 years,
or
maybe
if
less.
We can detect a genetic disorder.
Which
is at the heart of why we fear rape and incest. If you didn't have the ability to choose your sexual partner, then I didn't have a hand in what's going to be created. I didn't choose this, so I have no idea what genetic makeup you have. I haven't met your family. I don't know your history. When it's incest, we know that there's a lot of problems. Cognitive development. So that's the root of the fucking inherent aversion and the acceptance of, if it's an incest baby, you can murder it at a certain amount of months. No questions asked. But at the heart of that is the likelihood of a difficult life. Defect.
I'm not sure I agree with that.
It's the heart of it.
I mean, I think
it's where it manifests.
There may be some aspect of that, but I don't.
That's what I mean. It can get darker. So if we say the incest baby and the rape baby, it's like, well, why are those okay? But why else would they be okay? Like, why else would a person who naturally says that this is all bad, instead of this, if this happens, it's okay, what is it that they really fear? Like, why is it? But of course, if it comes out of the magical portal, the redeeming portal, safe baby. But if that comes out,
oh, I think I see the argument. I was misunderstanding.
do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I thought you were
Do you
saying,
understand what
why
I'm
is
saying?
it from the woman's perspective?
I'm just watching audio.
Like, I think the root of why that's acceptable.
You're talking about it from the
more
pro-life's
Right.
point of. I was misunderstanding. Where
I
you
think
were
the
going
reason
with that.
why there's more people that would say yes, you can have an abortion for that baby. The root of that is the fear that there'll be something wrong with that baby, and because of that, that's okay.
I think it goes to something. I might agree that it goes to something genetic and biological in us that has developed, in that we are primates. We are a social primate that depend on one another. And the golden rule exists in pretty much every culture and society, and the whole I scratch your back, you scratch mine. And the people who break that rule we don't want to encourage that sort of thing. And
But that's why
so
we
there
don't
could
have
be
the
a biological
relationships.
aspect.
That's why we
where,
don't like those relationships. We don't encourage incestuous relationships because of that. But like the result, why are we concerned with the result of it?
Because you would encourage, from a biological point of view, if that would be a forced. I mean, basically what we are is a way of transmitting our genes that has all this
Right.
flesh around it.
I think it's because
So-
we've seen the result
So
and have judged it to be negative.
human beings are the most successful creature, you could argue, at least, outside of various parasites and so on, because of our because we have this structure socially. And I think societies where, like, if you were in a rape society where it's just the strongest
some
would
people
just
say that we are, which is crazy, but continue.
where it wasn't punished even. We have laws against it. You get caught, you get whatever.
And
There's
some
punishment.
people would say that we are in that culture.
I would disagree with that. I think we have laws against it, and people are punished for
But okay,
it.
so if we were
But
in said
but
culture,
regardless, if you were in a culture where it's like, hey, it's every man, woman for himself, like the old joke of the caveman smashing the cave woman over the head and dragging her into the cave, society couldn't exist. We would not have developed from whatever our primitive ancestors were to what we are now,
So that
to going to the
explains-
moon and
so
beyond.
that explains rape. What about the incest?
The incest, I would agree with that. I think that the genetic component is probably why. That. Somebody did a thought experiment.
So you think-
It may have been Sam
I
Harris.
think it's only the social elements. See, I just think that the randomness is recognized as an inability to control the genes. So I think it's the same in both cases. But I understand.
Mm-hmm.
I understand your point of view. But yeah, it's like, it's messy shit.
I have read
like-
just enough evolutionary biologists
So
to
it's
talk
like,
about
that's
these
why-
things and totally screw them up. So
Like, it's messy shit, and that's why I would say, especially since I revised it, like, I am pro-life, and I vote pro-choice. There should be a safe place where that procedure gets done. There should be a safe place, a clean place where that happens. But I don't ever want to be in shoes that make that decision. That's my most complete answer.
by the way, everyone should read Why Evolution is True by Jerry Coyne. He actually touches on some of the points in this, including rape,
Yeah, I think
as
it's
an evolutionary
Yeah, man. Failure to control.
and race. He goes into
Who that
race in it,
partner
too.
is.
Very, very some touchy subjects in there.
Yeah,
But,
I love the touchy ones.
yeah. Read Why Evolution is True by Jerry Coyne.
I mean, this is get messy too. I mean, I'm a messy Bessie. What time is it?
It is 1:34.
Goodness gracious!
Yes. We're about 2 hours deep.
We went deep.
We did.
We went deep. So I still have to eat food and teach a private lesson.
Yes.
Which is probably going to keep me having like one friend.
Judy, I am
After this
so
podcast.
sorry. I told you
After
this would
this
be an
podcast,
hour. You're going to
I
kill
probably
me.
alienated the last 4 people who liked me. Just know that I still like you.
I alienated my wife, who was like, yeah, go ahead. How long will it be? I'll be home by lunchtime.
Yeah, you fucked up.
Yeah. She is going to... You cannot hang out with that Taryn Branch
That's
again.
my mom right there being like, I disown you. That's the text that was like, you cut off. You can't have any more of my nothing. Goodbye, Internet. XOXO.